Hello. I hope this works. Let me know if you guys can hear and see. Okay, yeah, the microphone is on. Sounds and visual good. Yay! Hi guys, hi Otto, hi Erica, hi Charlotte, hi Box of Paint. Hello, hello, hello. Have a delicious, mostly decaf latte. Very psyched about that. Qu'est-ce que tu fais là, toi? Pico? Salut, Pic Pic! Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Hold on. Et où tu vas? Bye, Pico! Mais viens! Viens voir! I'm trying to lure her in, but she scatters really easily. Tu me vois? Tu me vois mon coussin? Non? Oui, mais propos? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là-dedans? Viens voir tes amis. I'm sure Otto wants to see you. Come on. Pick, pick. Nope. Denied. Tu prête? Oh yeah. Salut. Bonjour. Bourrou. I'm not sure how this is possible with Bear turned 3. Hey, Bear! Well, this old girl turned 12. 12! Unbelievable! Hey, Bibi. Hey, Bibi. Blah, 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 blah. Tellement twin. Pourquoi t'es pas dans les serviettes, hein, mademoiselle? I'm sure people would love to see your pretty face instead of your pretty butt. Hmm? Pick, pick! Non, mais ça, c'est un très mauvais plan. Oh my God. Ici, Coco. Bon. Qu'est-ce que je fais avec toi, moi? Allez, allez. Ça va. Peux-tu tourner la chaise, s'il te plaît? La chaise. Okay. All right. So that was Peko. Oh no, box of paint. Box of paint says, we finally had some warm weather and sunshine and decided to do some gardening with the cats. Spidey senses tingled and I couldn't find Bear. Little turkey hid for over 20 minutes. Alright, so what I have in front of me is a bunch of old makeup palettes that are actually my favorite for gouache. So I have this one. I made a video about it quite some time ago. And of everything I've tried, this is the gouache palette that I kind of always go back to. The only issue with having old makeup palettes as gouache palettes is that you kind of have a lot of work to do to prep them for paints. And that's what I have like set up around here. I split them. You kind of have to split the... I have no idea where he was. I turned everything in the garden over to... He was probably just following you. So yeah, so like the first step is you kind of have to unglue the insert from the plastic palette and then remove all the makeup and then try to remove all the glue and then clean off the various products that were used for all of that. And then you can start considering putting gouache in them. So these have little holes that I just plug with washi tape. So I've set this one up somewhat yesterday, so it's not fully dry yet, but it's getting there. And I also had, this is a different little box, but I wanted to set this one up as a sort of a grayscale gouache palette. So I have two sections of white. And one is Payne's Gray and one is Ivory Black. And also drying. What is it in the black and the one with the it's these actually. So it's M. Graham white gouache. I had an issue with one of these. M. Graham Payne's Gray and Ivory Black. This one is a bit different. This one is white gouache again, because you've seen the size of these tubes, but oddly enough, I think this one is Holbein gouache. And then I have a bunch of Holbein watercolors, except for the Opera, which is Magello, I think. And what I want to do with this one is sort of have watercolors that I can mix with the white to have that opacity of the gouache feeling. The first one I put together is pretty simple. It has, again, a big pan of white, because white is sort of the most used color with gouache, in my opinion. And then there's like a split primary of yellow, red, blue that I split there. I have a brown, and then I have three sort of convenience colors that I like. And I really like this one. So I want to maybe set some new ones. What have you guys been up to? Yeah, it's really handy. So going back to having cool and warm in the same well, if you need more of a neutral color, I can just mix both of them right there. And gouache is really odd in the sense that on paper it's not that different from watercolor, but in practice, it it works differently enough that it doesn't trigger the same the same paths in the brain than watercolor does. Like, I don't use gouache in the same way. Like with watercolor, yellows are always the colors that I use the least. And now you can see with gouache, it's the color I'm running out of. And white, well, pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I just didn't expect to be running out of the yellows in there quite so quickly. If I remember right, most of these, like these are M. Graham, these three are Holbein, and this one I don't remember. The reason I often go to M. Graham gouaches is that they crack a bit less. Make me want stuff, I'm not mad about it. Well, you being in Germany, right? You probably have access to these Essence palettes somewhat. And they've really been my favorite. Like I managed to keep a bunch of these. And I really like the size. I like the way the insert works. I have them all here. So I have another one like this. This is the one for the other palette. And I have these two. Is it the makeup brand like eyeshadow? Yeah, it's Essence. Essence is the makeup brand. And these were all eyeshadow palettes. I also have one Wet n Wild and one e.l.f. palettes. The thing that is a bit difficult to figure out with palettes and why I tend to like the Essence ones that are in plastic containers is that often makeup palettes will have the metallic tins in there, and those are a pain in the butt to remove. Like honestly, they're really difficult to remove and I don't like them. But most of the Essence palettes, they have the makeup straight in the plastic, I think. Or with the holes, it's much easier to remove the pans. Yeah, it's a lot of work though, because you really have to fight the palette to get the stuff out of there. But once you manage it, it's a really fun palette to use for gouache, I feel like. Not a lot of mixing space, but I mean, most palettes, they always lack mixing space. I meant to update on Discord, but still haven't. Oh, that's. I mean, that doesn't sound fun, but that's perfectly fine to skip on the Discord server for that reason. I was talking about watching some gouache tutorials and comparisons a few weeks ago, and the channel is Sarah Burns. It's like 5 years old. I won't put it on my face. I guess it's Sarah Bailey, which is a person, but I think Sarah Bailey is a person that's on the Discord, right? So I'm using some 99% isopropyl alcohol to try. Oh, I'm a dumbass. To try and remove the I forgot that I put some alcohol in the cover like a doofus. Oh well. But yeah, it's a trick tip that I got from Otto, and it works really well for removing stains on certain plastics. And it works on these, so I can remove the stains that are from me trying to remove all the makeup in there. And also, hopefully, it will remove whatever remains of the Goo Gone that I had to use to remove the glue. Keto alcohol. Only for cleaning purposes, right? I was really tempted to get some of her brushes. Gosh, it's a lot of fun, but still a struggle. If you have any kind of flat brushes, before buying anything else, I would suggest you try having those you already have. Because for me, flat brushes are really what made gouache fun. Like flat or angled. I don't know why, but I find that round brushes are perfectly fine for watercolor, but they're not fun for gouache. And yeah, so before purchasing like more brushes, perhaps you have something in your stash that you can use. And also, gouache is great because you can use synthetic. Filberts are fun for gouache too. Ooh, I need to try that. But yeah, all the cheap paper that sucks for watercolor is really good for gouache too. I gotta show you the sketchbook I'm using for gouache at the moment because it fits that descriptive really well. What I wanted to do was basically plug the hole in my bottle so there's less fumes. Fan brushes. Oh. Basically any brush you tend to not use a lot in watercolor. That's fair. Alright, so this is my current gouache sketchbook. I got some of those suction cup things for the bottom of my water jug, and that has made using any brush. What are those? What are those? But yeah, the paper is absolutely terrible for watercolor, I feel. It's really thin. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but it's a very faint light gray instead of white, because you can see the white gouache quite well in there. It's not handmade. It's it's one of those. Sometimes you can find these for cheap on shops like Amazon, and I had a different one before. I'm always on the lookout because the paper is terrible, but I really like it for some odd reason. And yeah, I thought that I would use this one for gouache, so I did a couple of tests. I did only 2 so far. I used various images online as reference. And since the paper is like not the best, I'm gonna use the backside of a sheet to test out my colors and the other sheet to do the sketches. I tried with washi tape on this and it ripped off the paper. So I did another one and I tried with a different tape that didn't rip off the paper as much, so I might use that one. And when I'm done, before I remove the tape, I seal them with cold wax. This, the Dorland's wax medium. And yeah, so it's quite thick, quite a lot of pages in there. They're all this light gray that I think it could be interesting if I use white gouache in some of these studies. And yeah. Fairly inexpensive, and I quite appreciate that this one doesn't have one of those bookmark thingamajigs. Sucks. Well, I did a study of a screenshot from like here. Like it's a study. It's quite wonky, but it's got little rubber bumps. Oh, I see. I have some of these, but they're not suctioned. They're just, you drop them at the bottom of your water jar and... And I agree. I thought the cover was really, really lovely. And I kind of like these a lot. I don't know why. If you're lucky, you can find them at around like $10 a sketchbook. If you're unlucky, these can go up in price like something ridiculous. Like absolutely absurd, like $40, and you're like, nah, wait. So, yeah, and my hope is that I can, like, it has quite a few pages, but I would love to be able to fill it with studies. And to help with that, I made the guides. This one is the size of a screenshot from a movie, and the other one is square. So depending on the reference photos or images I want to use for studies or paintings or whatnot, well, I can just plop them on, trace, tape it off. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. I want to do more studies from movie screenshots because I feel like that's kind of relevant to my interests, my general interests. And I also love doing like photos I find pretty on Pinterest. I mean, I feel like these are perfectly fair for practice and studies. I'm trying to get the foam in my latte to move a bit. Easier said than done. All right. And as for brushes, what I've been using for gouache so far this time, I have one angle shader, basically just one small angle brush. I have another angled from Cutman. I really like Cutman brushes for gouache. And I also have this other Cutman that I tried using for thinner lines. I'm not completely sold on this combo of brushes. I quite like this one, but these two, I'm not sure. I feel like they don't get thin enough for the scale that I'm working at, but yeah. And yeah, as for these inserts with the holes, I just put a bit of washi tape to plug the holes, and so far it's worked. Like the other palette I have, this one, has had the washi tape as plugs, and you can see that none of them leaked. Also, another fun thing of these palettes is that if you take a look at these, the insert, the bottom is kind of textured and frosty, so I feel like that helps the gouache stay put more. And I don't know how the gouache will fare in an insert that has more of a sleek finish like this. I feel like it might, it might crack more. So maybe I'll use this one as a gouache and watercolor palette. Have like watercolor in the smaller wells and a big blob of white gouache somewhere, and because the watercolor I prefer, Holbein, is very good at staying put. It's magic. Bea and I got our nails done professionally this week, and I got dip gel, and he was concerned they were roughing up my nails, and explained that if they weren't. Oh, cool. Cleo, hey! I'm under the weather. Oh no! Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Oh, that sucks. I hope it's something that will resolve quickly. managed to put so much cat hair on this. I wonder if I should... I'll try the thin tape and hopefully it will be... Oh my gosh, there's so much cat hair. So who else? Well, Box of Paint, you said you've been using gouache. What kind of palette do you like for it? To get a vaccination Friday. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. At least usually these resolve rather quickly. Like more quickly than the actual like infection or illness. But yeah, like I hadn't really had any side effect from vaccination in, if we're talking like pre-COVID stuff, because my previous vaccinations were all like school related stuff, and I mean, even if I had felt crappy, I think I would have been sent to school anyway. But yeah, with the COVID, I think we all have fresh experiences of vaccine side effect, and they suck. Did I show you my full Holbein? No. No. You have one palette with all of them? I want to see that so badly. I've been using Winsor Newton gouache, so I've been keeping it in one of those porcelain palettes. Oh, pretty. And just add a few drops of purified water every day if I'm taking a word. Oh, that's clever. It's been good. And if I forget and it turned into rocks, I can just pop the crunchy stuff. Or you can, yeah, no, I was saying you could just add water back in, but yeah, Winsor and Newton doesn't re-wet all that nicely. Okay, so that one is technically, I hope it doesn't smell like Goo Gone a lot. Not quite one palette, but the full range of... Oh, the gouache one! Oh! I don't know why my brain read that as watercolor, and I was like, the fuck? Full range of mainline gouache by 84 colors. You know, those day after. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like where this is going. Wait, is 84 dividable by 7? Well, you can get 4-week packs. 4 of the 1 week. Okay, so 28, right? Turns out 3 of those is exactly 84 days. Oh my gosh, that's so clever. I'm trying to do maths in my head. Maths are hard. That's amazing. I love that. And they all have like a little cover. They're big enough to put the entire tube of paint in each cell. Whoa. I want photos, please. That sounds amazing. I should make a I should make a Lightyear theme palette in this one because it says to the moon and back. And yeah. Because they're airtight, you can keep them wet or dry them out. Yeah, and luckily Holbein reconstitutes quite well with water. I apologize for the noises from rubbing this stuff. So I feel like this is kind of a dangerous enterprise, and I'll explain why. Because I'm using my fingers and 99% alcohol, and you can't probably see, but my index and my thumb are completely busted. They're cracked and like peeling, and there's holes in there, and it's just like completely messed up. And I'm holding tissue with alcohol in it. So if you hear me like go ram at some point, you'll know what. Well, the thing is with plastic gloves, they're never a good fit. They're too long in the fingers, and they're terrible for dexterity. And I feel like I can never know what. I feel like I'm blocking too much of tactile information. The new lotion helps, but yeah, my fingers are really messed up. My hand too, but I mean the lotion helps. It would be like disgusting if not for that. But lotion on the fingertips is always kind of tricky. The Givenchy of Himi palette. Rad Gamer Rage. Rachel. Happy Caturday to you too. So I reconstitute them with water when I'm going through a gouache phase and let them dry it when. That's really cool. And they won't separate as much. That's clever. So yeah, the new lotion does a really good job with the cracking that happens here and like on this finger. But for the fingertips, that's where the lotion never really stays because I mean, I'm right-handed, so I use my hand for everything. I would definitely use, like, if it starts hurting, I'm gonna use gloves for sure, but I feel like for as long as I can avoid it, it's gonna just be so much more efficient to work with whatever sensation is left in those fingers. I don't know if you guys have that issue. But the like it's like a cycle. Like the skin repairs and then it gets kind of too thick and then it starts cracking and peeling again and then it repairs and just hold on a sec. Sorry. Mostly I like it for the fact that it's exactly 84. That's so satisfying. How big is it? Like what kind of real estate does it occupy? So yeah, I'm sorry if you guys think I'm being stupid with the finger thing. That's kind of always my struggle with whatever because like doing dishes, like yeah, I will put on gloves, of course, if I have to, but the likelihood of me breaking something or dropping it is so much higher when I have to put gloves on because they don't make them for small stubby hands. Like this small like it just never fits basically. I'm trying to. I know this. Usually I unconsciously stop using lotion regularly after it's repaired and then start scratching. Oh, maybe that's it too. By the way, I was looking for the Bioderma lotion, but I couldn't find it. I found one that seems to help too. Oh, that's good! I mean, it's a bummer you couldn't find that one, but if you find another one that works, that's perfect. Like, if I get the smallest gloves, they might be too tight at the wrists because I don't have, like... You know how people are not necessarily proportioned out as you know, shrink them and stretch them out. Like, you can have someone who is super tall that has a finer bone structure. And you can have someone short like me that has a sturdier bone structure, which means that I have beefy wrists. And not from fat, hopefully, because there's not actually, like, the fat starts later on in the arm, so that's not the issue, but I have short fingers and small hands, but kind of larger wrist. So if I try to find gloves that have the proper length of fingers, they're too tight. And if I try to find gloves that are comfy for the palm and the wrist, the fingers are extra long. So no one wins, especially not me. No one wins! My hands have some kind of magic water repelling properties. Lotion tends to just sit on top, and if I want something to soak in well, it's the gross, super thick stuff. Yeah, same. But I mean, have you noticed how lotion does that like everywhere on the body? Like if you put lotion and you're just a tiny bit too warm, it's sort of like reactivates and feels sweaty and gross. I mean, these don't have to be pristine. That's not the point. I'm just trying to get rid of all the oily product that I used to remove the glue as best I could. Because I don't feel like oily products are a good match for, you know, gouache. I don't know if alcohol is good for removing oil. I hope so. The plastic really stained from the makeup, which is, you know, kind of stupid. Oh yeah, that is the worst. When I find stuff that's worse, I tend to buy in bulk. I would do that, but I've been burned a couple of times. I've done that and then realized that I've developed an allergy to this stuff because those don't necessarily trigger right away. Or buy in bulk and there's an issue with it that I didn't like realize after just a brief period of use. I don't like lotion in summer at all. It feels disgusting, right? Ugh. Alcohol is excellent for removing. Oh yeah, isopropyl can react with certain plastics. Yeah, I've seen that. That's why they don't recommend using alcohol for cleaning glasses, like glasses, because it can mess up the lenses depending and or the frame. But yeah, for these plastic palettes, the alcohol doesn't seem to mess up the plastic, so that's why I've been using it. IPA, what's IPA for outside of a independent beer company? Hubby thought it was a cute joke when I told him my family have a curse that if we like something, more than likely they will quit making it. So I was really conscious about declaring my love for Tunux and Tablet. Oh, isopropyl alcohol. I'm a dumbass. Over here, it's an abbreviation for, you know, small beer brewery that have fancy, like, oh, pumpkin and grapefruit beer in the fall. And you're like, what? Like, not the big companies like Budweiser and all that nonsense. I think. Like, don't come to me for questions about alcohol, but I think that's it. Still smells a bit like Goo Gone, but yeah, I don't think that's It smells so strongly. I don't like using it, but you know, sometimes you don't have much of a choice. I cleaned a not cheap fountain pen nib and got it on the case since the worst, but looks like it lost the battle with it. No! Oh yeah, that's another thing they specifically tell you, like, don't use alcohol. I know that if you buy a TWSBI, it says so, like, on the container, like on the case it comes in. Thanks, Pico, for all the fur. So this one has a really weird layout. I'm not sure what I'll do with it, but I might go for the bigger tape for that one if I can find it. Oh my god. I thought I had some of my white washi tape left. Where is it? It's not in here. That's always what happens when I try to sort stuff up. I can't find anything. Alright, well, next best thing is gonna be this one. Oh my gosh, Jill! Hi! Oh my god, this always reminds me of the fountain pen that melted in alcohol? Oh, and come to think of it, this one, if you look at this one, the bottom is transparent, so you can kind of see the tape I use. Like, no one really cares. And I was trying to, like, my brain went to, oh, but if you find the white washi tape, it's gonna match and no one will see. But the bottom of these is opaque, so it's actually not really a concern or anything. Also, another perk of these makeup / gouache palette is that you don't really, you know, if you happen to lose it, it's, you know, it's always a bummer, but it's not that much of a bummer, you know. I made the mistake of cleaning a pen with pen cleaner that was evidently mostly alcohol, and it melted the pen body. Oh, I hope you wrote them a strongly worded letter. I have a couple of nice pens left, and they just stay locked up with them. Only the affordable ones can come out to play. So what do you do with the other ones? Are they just for display? Because I mean, the point of a fountain pen is to use it to, you know, write stuff. Feels like a bit of a loss if you don't use them. I think I only have the only pen that I have that is a bit more worthy in price and value was a gift, but all the pens I have are affordable ones. I don't know. I look at the fancy one, but and I find them pretty, but they don't really do anything for me. That's two. Right. Who's next? This guy. So this one is pretty much the same as the one I already have, and it has technically the same insert, and I think I'm gonna keep this as a combo so it's sort of easier for me to figure out, like, because when it's closed and you've used it for mixing in the lid, you can't really tell what's in there unless you look at the bottom, right? But yeah, I feel like keeping these two the same layout of pens is the most intelligent way to go about it, I think. I have an old silverware box and they just hang out with my bottle of ink now. I tend to get FOMO with fountain pens and I want to use all the inks and have options, but that's not how they work. Definitely. Also, PSA, if you try to sort out a makeup palette for putting paint in it, be super careful. I don't think it's one of those I have here. I think it was another palette, but that I tried to remove the metal pans in there, and I cut myself quite well on one of them, trying to get it out. It wasn't on purpose. I think like my hand slipped, and I mean those things are sharp. I've got a couple that I use every day. One was £10 and one was about £35. So £35, that's about, I always go ×2 in Canadian dollars, but I don't think that's exactly the right conversion, but $70, that's I mean, I guess in the grand scope of pen prices, that's not a lot, but I feel like that's a lot of money for a pen in my book. Those metal pens are insanely sharp. Seriously, you don't expect it, but whoa. They're thin, they're absolutely unfinished, and they're just like cut so that they like a soda can lip. Yeah, that's true. What pans? The makeup pans. £35 is more than a pizza, but less than 2 pizzas. Are you for real? Like when we order pizza, we pay about that price, but in Canadian dollars. So that's nothing. Like 35 Canadian dollars is nonsense. So, speaking of food, what's the best thing you ate last week? There was a lot of good food last week in my life. Google says it's $60 Canadian. Oh, that's a lot of like pizzas don't cost $60. Oh my gosh. Oh, this one still has a bit of makeup stuck in there, or glue or something. I know I had toothpicks at some point. Oh, there. Yeah, that's sparkly. That came by for the the Bee and Stitch brought me a box of baklava that was filled with pecans, almonds, chocolate. What? I can't remember what I had this week, but must have been boring food. How? How is that even possible? I would not believe that Paulo would be eating boring food. Of course, it's boring by your standards, but for everyone else, would be like, whoa! If we order from the normal brands, 2 pizzas is about 40 pounds. No sides, no drinks, just 2 pizzas. Wow, what size pizza? Jeez. Like, if we get to medium-sized Domino's pizza with fries, it's 35 Canadian. I order mine without cheese and extra sauce. Pizza with fries. Yeah, as a side. Fries on the side. Listen, I live in North America. You gotta let me do North American stupid thing, like ordering fries with my freaking pizza. In Germany, you can get pizza with fries on top. I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure you can get some particularly like nonsensical stuff in the US. We just keep it really basic. It's not good, don't try. Yeah. If we order from hubby's favorite pizza, we can get mini pizzas and sides for much, much less. But it has never not made me... Oh no, that's such a bummer. I thought I haven't heard everything. Oh, we have some pretty like extreme kind of stuff here. But earlier I saw pretzel crust pizza, and like you can get them with weird sauces on them, and gouache. It's gonna be gouache palettes, Jill. I was talking about this palette earlier. I set it up a couple of years ago, and it's exactly this. So sorry, the same makeup palette as this one for eye and face, but basically eyeshadow palettes. And I cleared out all the makeup because I didn't like it, and that was not the point. And I filled it with gouache as a sort of gouache travel palette, and realized that it's actually the one palette that I always reach for when it comes to gouache. I really like it. So I figured that perhaps it was time to clean up this stash of old makeup palettes that was just taking up space and get them ready for different layout of gouache, possibly. Oh, we also get weird pizzas over here. Some I am not sure I can. Here one is about 8 to 12 euros. Well, I mean, that's pricey depending on the size. Here, we can get a medium pizza for like 9 Canadian dollars, which is really not that much if you convert it to euros. In Poland, I would get extra sauce of pizza in a little dish, and sometimes it would just get ketchup. Oh no, that's just weird. I mean, I don't. If you end up with pizza that you gotta dip in sauce, I think there's something missing from the pizza itself. And possibly the crust, because if the crust is, you know, too terrible that you gotta dip it in sauce too. And I'm a sauce person, so. Cool project, thanks. And yeah, also I was saying like other advantages are that these are quite small, they don't take a lot of space, and if you travel and lose it, well, it's, you know, it's not that big a deal. It's not like a fancy palette or anything. It was the egg cracked on top before baking that did me in a very... I'm trying to see if I can remove some of the remaining glue with the tape method, but yeah, that did not do much. Some of the glue just didn't want to, like some types of glue will really dissolve well with Glue Gun, and some types of glue will just not care one bit. And that's the second kind. It's not exactly a bother because it's the bottom of it, so we're not going to really see it unless you look, you know, under the... And it might help keep the tree in place, but it's just a bit unsightly. And I was trying to see if I could do something about it, but apparently I can't. I don't like eggs, and a sunny side up egg in the middle of your pizza made me lose my... There's the first time. Oh no! What do they call it? Like, is it a breakfast pizza? What's the justification for having a whole egg in there? What do you guys like on your pizzas? Oh, I hope Otto is still able to use the chat. What we like on pizza? It's called Florentine pizza. What's Florentine about it? Why not call it egg pizza? I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that funny, but I find it funny. I say as I'm fighting glue. Something spicy or spinach, bacon, and egg. Oh no, you're gonna have a fight with box of paint. Oh, I like pineapple too. Like some kind of salty ham or prosciutto or something, or bacon and pineapple. That's a plus. But it has to be fresh pineapple because let's face it, canned pineapple is a bit of an abomination. You can get frozen pineapple; it's equally good as fresh pineapple. Chilies and mushroom. That's gotta be not. That's gotta be good. Chilies, you mean like the flakes, right? The hot pepper flakes. My favorite is with artichokes, broccoli, spinach, and pepperoni. It's spicy, sour with texture. I tend not to put much veggies on my pizzas just because I don't like when they make the whole thing soggy. And I'm often too lazy to pre-cook my vegetables before putting them on pizza. So I often just put prosciutto and olives, spicy olives. Back at home, I used to get white sauce with artichokes and black olives. Oh, but white sauce is a crime. Someone's gonna throw stones at me, but oh, I can't. I've never been a big fan of white sauces. So maybe that's my issue. They need to be crunchy, not cooked. But that's just a cold... No. That's weird. That's like having a salad on your pizza. No? Maybe not. I don't know. I guess that'll be it for that. A little spicy, a little sweet, and a little squeaky. When I lived in Chicago, every single pizza made me so sick, and I thought my pizza days were over, but it was something from there. That's kind of a very interesting premise that I feel would be interesting to research further. But they've been on the pizza in the oven, like the grill. They're just dry on the top and a bit warm. I don't know. I like the veggies and I like the pizza, but I kind of prefer having the raw veggies next to the pizza than the veggies on the pizza. And I've eaten my fair share of like veggie pizzas, but yeah, I think it's just not compatible with me. Also, since I like having extra tomato sauce on there, maybe that's why it's like it becomes too much juice on a pizza. Where it has like stuff like pineapple and meats and olives. They don't really produce a lot of juice, you know. See, I can't make you like the veggies. I like them, but I'll take them next to the pizza. I've eaten the pizza I've eaten the most growing up was just like tomato sauce, mushrooms, green bell peppers, and cheese. And I ate my fair share of that, but yeah, it was always about like slicing up the veggies like with a mandolin, so they're super thin. But yeah. Hubby is a straight up margarita guy. Much more than cheese, and he thinks you're trying to trick. Does he like having more than one sort of cheese on the pizza, or it's just like mozzarella and tomato sauce? You can pre-cook the veggies. Yeah, but that's extra work. That's what I was saying. I'm a bit too lazy for that. Many cheeses are fine. Oh, that's interesting. He and Mr. E could probably share a pizza without any issue. I'm craving pizza now. Pre-cooked veggies get too soft. I guess it depends on the veggies. But I feel like some veggies don't really belong on a pizza, like carrots. And what kind of pizza would you put carrots on a pizza? That doesn't sound right. I no longer order the 4-cheese pizza because there is a blue cream cheese that came on a couple of... Ooh, no. Blue cream cheese. That's a weird combo. Maybe it was just like old regular cream cheese. And the blue part was not intentional. Yeah, no carrots on pizza for me either. It doesn't really... I don't know why it doesn't make sense, because you can get carrots and like some more hearty pasta sauces, like bolognese or fake bolognese if you don't put meat in it. Like, carrots are fine in there, but on a pizza, it automatically doesn't make any sense. I like blue cheese, but there is something that my brain and stomach agree that cream cheese should not be blue. When I was in college, the local pizza made a veggie pizza that was huge chunks of cauliflower and broccoli and long strips of carrots that they'd obviously stuff. It was bizarre. It sounds really bizarre. And oh man, large chunks of cauliflower and broccoli. You know those things are like completely cold in the middle, right? I once had a pizza that had a smoked cheese and it tasted like fish. Pizza drove me crazy. That sounds not too bad though. We quite like putting lardon on pizza, but I haven't figured out what lardon is supposed to be in English. It's a bit like if you took the piece of meat that you slice bacon from, but instead of cutting slices, you cut like little cubes of it. I feel like lardons are a very French thing. They call them lardons. Yeah, it's like chunks of like little cubes of bacon instead of slices. A bit like pancetta, but less dry. It's small cubes. It's just a cut of bacon. Yeah, but I mean, my point is that I don't know what's the name of that. Like, when I want to talk about lardons in English, I never quite know what to call them. Because it's not the same cut as bacon, but it is basically bacon. Oh yeah, they have excellent fat content. They make for amazing quiche. And they're good on pizza, and they're good in pasta. They're super practical, and also they're often cheaper because they can basically just take whatever is left of the bacon like slabs and just chop it up and call it lardon, and there you go. They did that with cured meats. Google says bacon. Oh, Google, you're not helping. That it is bacon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is like you take the slab of bacon before it's cut, and instead of slicing it, you make chunks of it, like small cubes of it, instead of long slices. Oh, fried potatoes. That's gonna be amazing. In English, they're also called lardons. Okay. I mean, at least it's easy to remember. But if I'm making things like cornbread, lardons are really good for getting some oil. Yeah, they're like if you make pasta sauce, you can cook a couple of lardons first. It's a bit like cooking bacon, but it's just a more convenient format and often a bit cheaper. Suppose? Fried potatoes are so good, also with the mushrooms instead of lardons. I mean, it's a good taste. It's just not the same cooking purpose. Like adding lardons are great for the fat they bring, but you won't get any fat in the recipe by adding mushrooms. If you're looking for something to, like, you need to add vegan butter or oil or something with the mushrooms. As I tend to buy bacon by the slab. Yes. Well, then you make your own whatever you want, actually. Like, whether it's lardon or... Oh, man. They're crispy all around, so no need for a press. And yes, I also have made my own bacon. What do you mean? Like smoke the meat and then cut it and bacon? Cure and smoke the pork belly. It's simpler than one would think. Do you need a special like smoker to be able to do that? Et voilà. Our washing machine is being a butt. It has this issue where it's probably an like electronic issue, but the pump kind of fudds up and doesn't work to drain the drum of the machine, and there's not really any reason why nor any obstructions because we've done the thing of like opening the machine and like all the work of checking the pump area, and it's okay. There's really nothing clogging it, but every once in a while it will go like, oh, I can't drain, and you're like, you could. It's simpler than I would think. No, you can bake it at 100 Celsius in the oven. The result is the same. Oh, interesting. How do you get the smoky effect, though? Oh no. Sorry. I sneezed. Allergies, am I right? Really cute sounds. Is there something in English like bless you but non-religious when people sneeze? I don't know. I mean, people will say Gesundheit, but that's not English. Oh my gosh, ew, look at that. There was so much makeup powder left on that one. What? Ew. It's gross. Or maybe... Oh, this one might be affecting the plastic. Maybe that's the plastic I'm picking. Hold on. Yeah, that might be it. Look, it's getting a bit like gross and cloudy there. So I guess that's just the print on the plastic that is not perfectly resistant. Because inside the lid, it's perfectly okay and good, but the outside didn't quite like the alcohol I put on there. Good to know. I'll try just to clear up the window. I don't know why, because anyway it's going to be covered by the mixes on the other side. Look at that. That's why I'm trying to just use it on the clear area. Oh well. Oops. Yeah, that's German. Always pardon me when I sneeze, but that definitely isn't the norm in US or UK. Yeah, just that there might be an English version. In French, we say à tes souhaits. I really did not expect the print on top of the makeup lid to be messed up by the alcohol. That's a surprise. So this one has no insert. This basically just this. You have 2 big compartments and 8 small ones. Ah, schnut. I managed to put paint on my... Oh, that's not gonna be fun to clean. I smeared paint under my storage area for palettes and stuff. Oh no, look at that! Ew! Oh my gosh, that's not gonna be fun. I can't see it. Like, I know it's there, but the angle makes it so that I can't really see where I... I'm almost running out of paper towels. It's Holbein Aurelian. At least it's not nickel azo yellow. Oh, I think that might be it. Oh, cool. I think I cleared it up. Okay, cool. Cool. Another rabbit hole I fell down was tattoo inks that are blue and green might be banned in the EU. They are safe until you try to remove them and then ended up in food coloring. Whoa. Why are they dangerous when you try to remove them? All that's left is the foam. Trying to remember the exact chemical reaction will be far off. But like phthalo blue, once they zap it, it releases some bad chemicals. Oh, that's interesting. Most of the tattoo inks were never tested. Well, yeah, there's what are they like when you get them tattooed, but also what happens when they laser them off. Red was banned like a year ago, I think, as a tattoo ink. I mean, you can still get red ink. It's just going to be a different source for the color, right? All that makes me think of is that X-Files episode where Scully gets an Ouroboros tattooed, and they use some red ink, I think, that is made from a fungus, and that gives her like hallucinations or something. Just get a bunch of these. Oh, they're actually removing phthalo blue now. Oh, phthalo blue, green shade, phthalo green, blue shade. And titanium white was banned as a food coloring because it can have damaging effect on genes, if I remember correctly. Whoa. They just need to use lead. Use lead white and some cobalts for blue and green, right? It should be okay. The restriction covers, for example, chemicals that cause cancer or genetic mutations, and chemicals that are toxic to reproduction, as well as skin sensitizers and irritants. So basically everything. That would remove all the white foods from the market. So these are my, this is another little gouache palette that has just M. Graham gouaches in there. I'm trying to figure out if I want to make a makeup palette with some of these or not. I was trying to put this palette together yesterday. And I was looking at the colors and I was like, oh, I want to add this color, I want to add this color. And then I thought, wait a second, before adding the colors in, just try to mix the other colors you have there just to see. And like, I realized that 3 of the colors I had initially selected, I could get the similar hue through mixing. And yeah, I was like, dang, it's much harder than it looks to figure out the gouache palette. I'll take out my... No, I don't have that many Holbein gouaches in the regular range, but I also have the Irodori range. But the thing is, I don't know how well they would dry in the palette. Well, I could try it. I mean, there are so many like absolutely gorgeous colors. The white is really having none of it. Yeah, I think I might want to make one of or two. These are way too pretty. We're so brave to put M. Graham. It's the gouache. Though, mind you, my watercolor is also in a folding palette, but the gouache is not gonna budge. The gouache is much drier, so like nothing moves in there. Hey, good luck, Cleo. I hope you managed to get some decent sleep. I find that with the Holbein ones are terrible for drying on palette. Cracking, falling out. However, they seem to stay on better ones. Use the palette. Yeah, I feel like if I put some Holbein in a palette, I would have to at least like re-wet it every once in a while. Never let it go like fully crackled and dry. But yeah, oh my gosh, the Irodori colors are so mind-blowing to me. There's not a single one of those colors that I go, like, I want to replace that one with a different one. I'm all like, ooh. Maybe I could put some in this palette. I saw a video from Lindsay the Frugal Crafter where she tried pressing down the gouache with her finger as it was getting dry and it reduced the cracking issue. Yeah, that's makes sense. It's just you have to catch the palette right at the same time. Yeah, you gotta catch the palette right at the right time to sort of press the paint down a bit, so that the part that is not dry yet just fills in the crack. All right. I think I want blue-black. Seiboku. And then I really want to have the amber color in there. Cool. Okay, so that's 2. This one. Okay, so I have this yellow and sort of this yellow. So this could be the first pair of colors. If I have this one, I could have like 2 yellows, 2 sort of red, 2 sort of blue. Or is that too much like the other palette I have? And also like this, there's so many of these greens that are amazing that I kind of want to have in there. I feel like if I have Seiboku, I kind of want to have this. Yeah. Yeah. Hummingbird blue. Okay, okay, okay. What is the amber color? It's Kohaku Amber from the autumn set. I really like the vermilion. And then probably safflower red. Looking for. That's it. Okay. It seems no. Seems no how much better I get at using watercolor. New palette freezes my brain immediately when I see the choices. It's really difficult. Like the more choices there is, the harder I feel it gets to figure out what colors to actually choose to put in there. I love how this is supposed to be a green color. You can't really tell from the color of the packaging, right? This one? No. This one. Yep. Alright. Alright. Got some colors. Oops. Oops, I'm so sorry. My hand got caught in the cable. Some of the tubes color are way off on others. Seriously. Which is why I'm incredibly grateful for the dot cards too. I always have inks matching the color of my pens, and that helps a lot. Except that I love demonstrator pens, so I might do it the other one. Oh, hold on. Cold Pen has a sale on and did a 5 for 4 deal and picked the first color and then sat there for about an hour trying to sort out the colors of ink. I got a new Twisby Echo with the glow-in-the-dark ends and may not have spent more than I was expecting buying matching ink. Which is weird because their normal gouache range tube colors are pretty spot on. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm puzzled. Yeah, the labels are the same, like plasticky labels. I don't think that's it. I'm curious. There's one glow-in-the-dark ink by G. Herbin, but it's not. Have you looked if Noodler... Noodler might not have a glow-in-the-dark, but it might have a UV reactive ink, which is kind of close enough-ish. Oh, that's... What a beautiful color. There you go. Noodler has quite a few like neon color, but I think they have one that is like invisible unless you use UV light. And yeah, they have a couple of neon inks. I think they're called like Firefly, maybe, or Catfish. Oops. So nice. These are so well behaved so far. And I'm gonna jinx myself and end up with one that has like separated in 20 different ways, but invisible during the day. I think it's a UV one, Paolo. So in daylight you don't see anything, and black light these are lovely. They're so thick. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I crack myself up. Stuff that's not even that funny, but I do. I can't even see what I'm doing. This one is so dark. It's gonna make for a somewhat muted palette, and I think it has potential. Now the part that I'm more worried about is this white gouache. Because I've had issues with my tubes where they... I don't know if you can see, but it's super liquid and it's sort of separated, and I'm not really here for it. Wait. The palette is the one a coworker's like a 3 years old uses a shovel on the beach and turn my... Wait. Elaborate this horror story. What? How? This one is even worse than the other one. Yuck. They kind of look like yogurt, or... You know when you let big cans of oil paint sit for long and they separate? Well, my gouache kind of looks like that. But fortunately, I have other gouache. And I'm leaving this area empty. So if through using this I realize that I really want a specific color in there, I still have room for it. It was in my pen bag and I went to get a drink, came back, and ink was everywhere. My pen was giving me the old 2-finger salute, and it was like, oh, think your pen's broke. How did you not murder that person? Is my question. I then dumped out my pen all over my desk and showed him all the ballpoints and asked what the fuck was wrong with him. It was like using my toothbrush. Yep, that's a proper reaction. Definitely. Oh my god, no. Did you get them to pay for repairs? I don't remember where these goes. Okay. Shoot. You go there. And then you also go there. Benny Kohaku. This one. All right. Paulo. I honestly think it was a mistake because the pen is super cool but no touchies. So now it lives with my ink and only comes out for special occasions. Didn't even offer to pay for the repair. That is super rude. That is just not okay. Not the same team that I brought cake for one of their birthdays, and they took it home without them without sharing. Oh, talk about missing the point. No way. I hate it when people just grab my stuff. Oh, definitely. It's a special time. That reminds me of all these am I the asshole stories on Reddit, you know. Well, in Germany, the birthday person brings the cake for everyone. Oh, that's nice. They took it home without sharing. Oh. When I was in the office, I kept a ton of stuff to share on my desk, but people are people. Oh, if there is a chance that people will grab my stuff, I'm not gonna leave it there. I'm not necessarily good at sharing, depending on the situation. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm so sorry. Oh, I think I'm lost in the remembrance of all the open floor workspace sharing stuff shenanigans. Oh no, Jill. Well, I mean, it all depends on what you did once you figured it out. But like, if the person is like unabashedly like, "Oh, thanks for the cake. I'm bringing this home. Okay, bye," then that's different. Because yeah, I can. I mean, I can see how that's possible. Like, and I mean, if it was just me, I wouldn't want to share the cake either. Like, you bring me cake, thank you. I'm keeping this sucker to myself. That's my cake. All of you go away. I didn't figure it out until the next time someone had a birthday and the cake was shared in a break room. Oh no! Oh no, Jill. What did you do then? Did you bring in a cake on a random day just to share? I've said before, but when I first moved over, I made a strawberry cake with cream cheese frosting. And 90% of the dudes were like, that cake is pink. No thanks. Oh, that's such a loser attitude. Like, first, like on two levels. First of all, you come across as a dumbass, and then you also don't have cake, so you're a dumbass without cake. So double the lose. The last person to say it, I was like, "What color do you expect strawberries to be made?" You don't need strawberries. You need manberries. Manberries. Strawberry is the national freaking fruit. Seriously? This is so next level. I love this. I can't. Nah, just let it go. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. I mean, it happens. My partner overheard this and asked, "What are mint berries?" Well, I said man berries, but insert nut joke here. Pretty much. In the UK, they call the lads. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, the cake is pink. I'm flabbergasted. If there is one area of stuff where the color is automatically irrelevant, it's dessert. Like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm gonna eat it. Thanks. But now I always ask what the protocols are on birthdays when I say that's actually quite clever. Like I never really had to figure it out due to the nature of the work I would do, but yeah, I think like if it's a sort of a permanent job, it's a really good idea to go check out the HR person and ask, "Hey, what happens on birthday? Do we bring stuff? Is there a group lunch? Like what what's happening. I would hate it when they would pop a team lunch on us out of the blue because it's someone's birthday. Because back then I would often work with quotas, so you had to deliver a specific amount of work in a day. So when they would go like, okay, everyone, let's take a much, much, much longer lunch period because it's so-and-so's birthday, and I would always be like, you know what? Happy birthday, so-and-so, but I got work to do. And it's not, I mean, I'm not saying it's fun or all, but it's the way those things were set up. Like if I wanted to earn my pay, I had to put in the quota. So I would have much preferred probably to go to the restaurant, possibly, maybe, maybe not, but you know, it would totally eat strawberry cake. Yeah, definitely. Unless you are allergic to strawberries, why would you? Yeah, and I mean, if your excuse for not eating a cake is the color, it's definitely not an allergy situation. Yeah, work culture is a bit. I kind of like so many other things in the life of a grown up. I kind of hate how work culture, they sort of expect you to figure it out. And you're like, yeah, but you could also tell me. And then it would be a lot less stress. But yeah, open floor work, open space work floors, open whatever, where everyone is all lined up on table and there is no privacy whatsoever. I mean, you make it work because you have to, but if I could choose not to deal with that, I absolutely would not choose that. It doesn't have to be a closed, completely closed off area, but just a bit of like a cubicle or something. It's not ideal, but it's better than open floor. What time is it? Oh, it's well past the end of stream time. Jeez. Which is proper timing because I'm absolutely out of idea what kind of palette to build with these. And I need to think on it. Because, I mean, like, eventually I might end up with all of these as gouache palettes, but I can't really use them all at the same time. So this is the old one, and maybe I should refill the colors that are a bit low. But anyway, and then I have, 3 others that I need to test out when they dry. But yeah. If you have 4, you could go with this season. Ooh, I love that. I don't do a lot of plein air or cafe. It's, yeah. Or traveling either. Not that I don't kind of want to or would not enjoy it, but it just not enough to the point where I actually make it happen. I'm excited to try this monochromatic one. Yep. And also this one that is watercolor and gouache. Make sure that it has some ventilation or something. My first job out of college had a team of around 50 people and they were all really lovely, but I got so tired of passing the envelope and contributing for every... No, that's not... Oh, that's kind of shitty. I don't like that. I like to think I'm going to draw or paint on the go, but it doesn't happen typically unless I'm... Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I have all the stuff you could probably need to put together any kind of let's paint outside kit. Like I have it somewhere, but yeah, the idea of doing it is much easier and sometimes much more interesting than actually doing it. Because you get there and there's no seats and it's, I don't know, it stinks and there are bugs and it starts raining and, And the garden counts as plein air. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're outside doing it, so. All right. Well, unless there are any last minute questions, I think I'm gonna end this stream. And hopefully I'll be able to stream next week, but again, I'll you know, make it known if that's not possible. So I hope you guys, oh, everything you need is so close. I love it. Like your bathroom is closed. I love having my bathroom closed. And yeah, on that lovely note, have a great weekend, guys, and see y'all next time. Bye bye.